No one expected it. Not the fans, not the media, not even the closest insiders. A single message, brief, almost invisible in the chaos of their busy lives, suddenly exploded across the internet. It wasn't meant to be public. It wasn't meant to be seen at all. But there it was, a glimpse into a private world, a world fans had only dreamed of, and a world the two stars had fought so hard to protect. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun had always been careful. Careful with their words. Careful with their smiles. Careful with the fleeting moments when cameras weren't pointing at them. Every public appearance was curated, every interaction analyzed. Fans dissected every glance, every laugh, every shared moment. But they had never had proof, never had confirmation. Until now, the leaked message was simple. One line, sent late at night, a whisper of connection in a world that often demanded perfection. I miss you, more than anyone could ever know. It seemed innocent, a text between two people who trusted each other. But when it surfaced online, the world turned it into a headline, a scandal, a revelation. Within minutes, the internet was alight. Speculation spread like wildfire. Was this proof of a secret romance? Had they been hiding something all along? Were the rumors finally true? Fans scrolled, replayed, screenshot, and shared. Every reaction seemed to scream the same thing. Shock, disbelief, longing. Some were ecstatic, thrilled to see the evidence they had secretly hoped for. Others were heartbroken, feeling betrayed by the sudden exposure of a private connection they had no right to witness. And then, of course, came the media. The headlines were immediate, bold, and relentless. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun's secret message leaked. Fans go wild. Private text or public shock? What this message really means for Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun. The love story we were never supposed to see. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun exposed. The actors themselves remained silent. No comment. No social media posts. Just the usual press events, interviews, and appearances. But behind closed doors, everything had changed. For Lee Min-ho, the leak was a storm. He had always been cautious, controlling, precise. Every word, every smile, every gesture measured to maintain the delicate balance between fame and personal life. And now, that balance had been shattered. He stared at his phone, reading the message over and over again, wondering how a single line meant for private eyes, could turn the world upside down. He felt the rush of fear, panic, and disbelief. Not for the message itself, but for what it would cause, what it could do to her, to their reputation, to everything they had tried to protect. For Kim Go-eun, it was equally devastating. She had sent that message with pure intention. A simple admission of feeling, nothing more, nothing less. Yet now it had been transformed into a narrative she had never intended. She was no longer the person sending a private note. She was suddenly a character in a story written by strangers, a story full of speculation, judgment, and obsession. The leak forced both of them into a strange, surreal reality. Public curiosity blended with personal pain. Every message, every glance, every appearance became fodder for interpretation. Every move scrutinized, dissected, and analyzed. And yet, despite the chaos, there was one truth they couldn't deny. The connection in that message was real. The feelings behind it were genuine. They had been living parallel lives. Fame had drawn them together, and yet, at the same time, kept them apart. They had shared quiet moments, private jokes, and whispered confessions in places where no one could follow. But now, the world had followed anyway. The leaked message forced reflection. What did it mean? What should they do? Do they respond publicly or maintain silence? Do they protect themselves, protect each other, or surrender to the story the world was already writing for them? For a few days, neither spoke. They moved through their schedules with quiet tension, rehearsing smiles for the cameras, answering questions with vague, careful words. But in private, the atmosphere was heavy with unspoken words. Every glance carried weight. Every silence spoke volumes. Fans waited, as fans always do. They scoured interviews, social media, and official statements, searching for clues. Every public interaction became a moment of speculation. Every shared post dissected for hidden meanings. Some hoped for confirmation of love. Some feared heartbreak. All of them were caught in the storm of curiosity and emotion. The message itself, short and simple as it was, carried the gravity of everything they had never been able to say aloud. I miss you, more than anyone could ever know. Those 7 words held months of longing, frustration, and connection. They were honest, unguarded, and completely vulnerable. And yet, vulnerability had become a public spectacle. A private moment turned into headlines. A confession exposed to millions. A love story transformed into gossip. In the following weeks, the media tried to interpret everything. Was it a sign of reconciliation? Was it evidence of an ongoing romance? Was it proof that fame could not contain love? Every outlet had its own answer. Every fan had their own theory, and every casual observer assumed they knew the truth. Behind closed doors, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun lived with the consequences of exposure. They were forced to navigate a delicate path between private feelings and public scrutiny. Every decision became strategic. Every appearance carefully choreographed. Every word measured. Every movement deliberate. And yet, even with all the chaos, the truth remained untouched. The message, that single, leaked line, had captured a genuine connection. It reminded them of what they had shared. It reminded them that despite the distance, the fame, and the noise, they had felt something real. There were quiet moments when they allowed themselves to breathe. When they remembered the laughter, the stolen glances, the subtle warmth of a touch. They remembered why they had sent that message in the first place. They remembered the bond that had once seemed invincible. And perhaps, in those moments, they realized something important. Love cannot always be hidden. It cannot always be controlled. Sometimes it breaks through in ways you never anticipate. Sometimes it is revealed whether you are ready or not. For the fans, the world, and the media, the leaked message was a scandal. For them, it was a reminder that even in the chaos of fame, even in the glare of public attention, the heart still remembers. In the months that followed, both stars carried the message quietly in their private lives. They navigated new projects, interviews, and public appearances with professionalism and grace. But in their moments alone, the message lingered. A thread connecting them to a truth that no headline, rumor, or speculation could erase. Eventually, life moved forward. The leak faded from the news cycle. Fans shifted attention to new stories. The frenzy calmed, but the connection, the feeling behind that simple line, remained. And perhaps that was the real story. Not the headlines, not the speculation, not the drama. The real story was the honesty of a heart speaking in the quiet moments, in a message never meant for millions, in a truth that could not be silenced. No one saw it coming. No one expected a single message to shake the world. But for Lee Min-ho and